Hello, hi. We're here to play some D&D 5th edition. We're gonna go ahead and introduce our players, and then we'll start next where we left off, as Ian is giving me some sort of weird look. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go around the table and sort of see where your character feels about what's transpired last session. And just a brief description of your character. We'll go ahead and start with Dalrin D. Basher.
Dallin D. Basher is a mountain dwarf fighter who's dual wielding axes currently. There's a lot of chaos in this situation. People are being, goblins are being tortured, and people are dying. The city is in shambles, so I think Dallin's like, it's pretty okay.
That checks
pretty
out.
okay.
Next up, we have Calrad.
Calrad is a human wizard. He's kind of taken aback by the fact that these goblins are just invading this place. He's really excited about going to this library when this is all over. So, just trying to get there without throwing up too much.
Baby steps is what we're looking for here. So that way I don't forget you this time. Mercury.
Mercury is a tiefling cleric. Kind of just out to protect. Sorry, Ian, I forgot your name already. Valhoric.
There we go.
And the whole situation's kind of like he's just kind of whatever about it. It's kind of chaotic, but like that's just life. He just doesn't know how he feels about being involved, like maybe a political situation.
And last but not least, Valhoric himself.
Hi, Buleric, Periwinkle Blue Tiefling, not to be confused with the other Blue Tiefling. Also, I'm a bard. Badass. He's pretty on board with this whole thing. Like, it's kind of chaotic and up in the air, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna see what's around this next corner, but God, this is gonna be a great story at the end. Like, one way or another, this is going to be the best book. Like, don't even try to at me.
All right. So, excuse me, where we last left off, you guys had successfully, I think is the word, interrogated and killed a goblin. As you guys were trying to get some information on who's exactly continuing with this attack. You guys were able to make some sound using clever thaumaturgies to distract some other goblins while you guys were able to snatch him up. After some finagling of linguistics, you guys were able to find a language that he understood before outright coming out that he does know common. He just likes making people feel stupid. But you got some information on an individual who is leading, or possibly leading, this attack. As the goblin believed it, this is their boss. You guys didn't like the information, took his finger, then contemplated taking his hand, and then... Or, did you guys take his hand? I forget. You guys took his hand. And then killed him after he provided further information that you guys did not enjoy the
He
answer
was
to.
gonna tell his friends.
Which he
Did tell
did,
his friend.
as his last dying breath, he just yelled, "Run," in Goblin. We did have Calrad's cat follow them about 100 feet as they continued down the path of heading back towards the throne room from which you guys just came from. What would you guys like to do next?
Well, we probably have to follow him in some fashion.
Yeah.
Okay for this. Absolutely on board.
How
Alright.
do we want to just go? Like,
Well, my cat can keep up with them. Cat can go pretty fast, so
But
is there
you keep up with your cat?
yeah.
I mean we can do it.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, Dalren, how do you think that he sees through the eyes of his cat?
He doesn't. That's not possible. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, like, there's some stuff that the cat has seen that he's described perfectly to us. So, I mean, there's something there.
One time.
Okay, the fact that he knows where they're running.
Yeah, they're running over there. It's a tunnel. There's only one way to run.
There's two ways to run. They could have gone left or right.
I mean, I can also telepathically talk to it, so but I can't really prove that at this moment. So
Yeah, I had an aunt once that could telepathically talk to animals.
yeah, and how did she do that?
Well, we put her in a home
Oh,
because that's not possible.
Dwarves
So-
have homes like that?
Yeah,
Wow,
they're really nice.
y'all fucked up.
They're paid for by the king.
Socialized homes like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my way towards.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we have pressing matters. Sorry, Mark.
All right. So as you guys, I'm sorry, you said you were heading towards the tunnel.
Well, we're still in that shop, right?
Yeah. Well, you and Valric. No, Valric's in the back. So you and Calrad were out front, in the front lobby area, sort of looking through the glass, making sure that there was no disturbances as the goblin was still yelling from the from the storeroom. But yeah, you guys are currently still inside. As you make your way outside, it seems like it's the combat that was happening down below. Doesn't seem to be quite as loud. There's still obvious signs of combat still happening, but it has definitely subsided. At least one way is you don't hear loud explosions down below as frequently.
Yeah, we should probably get going.
Yeah.
Like now.
Great idea.
I go.
All right, as you all begin to head, following the group of goblins, are you guys trying to do this stealthily? You just trying to sprint after them as they are just like running off?
I don't know that I'm trying to keep stealth, but is there, like, can I just keep my alertness up,
Sure,
like, to around us as we move?
absolutely.
I'm just basing it off what Pinota is telling me, so if they're just running, I'm not really trying to sneak.
Okay. As you guys, or the people in the back storeroom, you guys hear and see Calrad and Mercury sort of take off. Mercury is definitely keeping a watchful eye as he's running, but Calrad is definitely just booking after his cat and the goblins. Do you guys give chase as well, running full speed?
I will.
And Dalren?
Yeah, I'll probably lead the way.
Okay. So as you guys...
Or be at the front of the pack,
Sure.
at least.
As you guys head that way, everyone roll a perception check.
Good idea.
Why haven't I rolled a character recently that has any sort of perception stat?
Because you have no wisdom. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, fair.
17 total.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
13.
I think I'm just gonna be better off taking my passive perception from now on.
With the score of 17, about 10 feet in front of Dollar, and you see a very thin wire that goes across the floor that he's running straight
Stop.
towards.
Stop. There's a thing.
I stop, and I look for a thing.
And I'll just go and lightly run my staff across it, like just try to like point it out.
You guys do see a small tripwire. You guys have taken this path before, and that wire wasn't there originally.
I think this is leather-clad dwarves deal. I'd like to try and trace the wire back to any sort of source, or try to figure out what it's there for.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a intelligence check.
Boy. Okay.
Investigation if you have it as well.
All right. We'll do investigation.
Can I help him with that? So
Yeah, you could advantage Ian with the assistance.
Excellent. Thank you.
Since I'm already like there anyway. So.
And that is a 22.
22.
Thank
You trace it going from left to right. As you guys trace it, you see that it actually goes into the wall. And then you sort of look around the wall as you see it towards the top where the ceiling would be. A single rope then begins to go in the direction you guys were heading. But you don't see any sort of device that it's connected to yet.
Okay. I'm going to point out the rope and step over the tripwire.
I don't think we have time anyway. How
Just
far
like
away
that.
is Pinota now?
She's about 60 feet ahead of you.
Alright.
Do we all step over the tripwire?
Yeah, you all can see, so you guys can definitely step over it without much of an issue.
With all the blasting and whatever noises we heard, is there some rubble around?
You look
I
around
want to
it.
pick.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I want to pick something up and roll it back and trip it, hit the tripwire. After we're far away.
Yeah, there is some rubble, as this is like a man-made in the sense, but there still is rock walls as well as ceilings. So you do find just a clump of dirt as you sort of roll it towards it. You hear a small snap as the rope above you begins to cast light on fire, and then you see the fire run the length of the rope ahead of you.
That might not have been our best move.
No.
Can I try to mage hand to stop the fire and pat it out?
Roll an Arcana check for me.
15.
15. You try to snuff it out with the mage hand, and it does stop.
All right. Let's try not to trip wires, just for fun.
It wasn't for fun. I was trying to save lives. Excuse me.
Excused.
All right. At this point, Pinota is probably about 80 feet ahead of you, as you had to sort of stop for a moment and take the time to put out the fire. As you guys continue to run after the goblins, Calrad, you do see that Pinota has sort of stopped and sort of looking around a corner. What's her passive perception?
It is 13.
13. She sort of stops at the doorway where you guys were originally brought in. Both of the giant ogres that were there are currently face down in pools of blood. But you do see a extreme amount of bodies just everywhere. Inside, you see about 13 dwarves, and the king is one of them, sort of standing up, covered in blood.
And that's so Pinota's hanging out outside the throne room. All right.
Yep. And you do see the group of goblins that were being chased are sort of like stuck in the throne room with their hands up.
Well, it seems that our quarry has made its way full circle. So they're in the throne room.
Excellent. Land and title. Here we come. This was easy.
Shall we? I guess.
We shall.
Is that rope still visible?
As you guys are continuing to head towards the throne room, you do see that it is still visible up on the right corner of the wall as you guys get closer and closer. About halfway through the throne room, so about 40 feet from where you guys snuffed out the fire, you do see there is a glyph, sort of just not quite fading, but it's in the process of fading. That the rope sort of has is a part of said glyph. Looks like the glyph was wrote over it.
All right. Well, if I have time, I'll try to detect magic, but I have to do it as a ritual. So if the glyph's gonna fade within 10 minutes, it's not gonna work.
It would not fade within 10 minutes if you want to use a ritual cast.
Okay. I will start doing that, but everybody else can do whatever they're gonna do.
My next question here is: do we have time to ritual cast?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the king's got it covered at this point, according to Pinota. So, plus it's in the throne room anyway, from my understanding. So,
What are you guys, the rest of the party, doing while Calrad is trying to detect magic on this rune? You guys still have about 40 feet to go until the throne room.
Well, I still have a point of exhaustion, so I'll probably just pop a squat.
Okay. Dalran and Valhoric.
I'm gonna head up towards the front of the group. Like, just a little further down, not all the way into the throne room, but like just a little further down the hall. Kind of keeping an eye out.
Okay. And Dalran, what are you doing while the rest of the party is sort of taking a breather after their adventures, while Calrad takes a moment and looks over this glyph?
I want to go into when you describe the throne room, the battle is over, right?
From you don't hear any any combat coming from the throne room. Based off what Calrad described, it looks like the battle has stopped, and the goblins are sort of held up inside.
Yeah, I want to go talk to the king about the name we got, which I don't recall.
Aldrich?
Aldrich, yes. See if that rings any bells for him or his.
All right. As you enter the throne room, you do see the goblins are definitely being held up on their knees, sort of execution style, as the Dwarf King sort of just raises his hand, and a volley of bolts fling into these goblins. It is, you do look around, and you do see many bodies litter the floor. There's probably, in this space, very little, maybe total about 5 by 5, that's not being covered in some sort of body. Whether it's dwarf, goblin, other race.
Wobbling.
You do see that they took extreme losses. All of the Dwarven lords survived, so you do see that the 6 Dwarven lords are there. But other than that, there's only 7 other dwarves that survived the combat. They are all covered in blood, as the king is... Yeah, you can tell all of them are extremely winded after such a fight. So, Dalran, you're a little late to the fun.
Yeah, we had our own mission to worry about.
It's fair. It's fair. What did you find?
Um, does the name Uldrick ring a bell?
He takes a minute and stops, looks around for a second. Is there a race that goes with that name, or just the name itself?
Just the name, unfortunately.
There are two Uldricks that we are aware. One is more prophecy than realistic, as there is supposed to be a destroyer of world, if you may say, in Elvish culture named Uldrick. But otherwise, there is a hobgoblin named Uldrick as well. But
Do
he,
you know of this hobgoblin Uldrick?
yeah, he looks over at a pillar, and on one of the pillars in the room, you do see a hobgoblin, sort of like head just decapitated and pinned to the wall. It's that one right there.
Hey, well, it seems our job is done then. Uldrick, according to our sources, was the one that did this. So, if there's nothing else, we'll take our prize and be on our way.
Well, we have to check the rest of the city, make sure that at least if we can't end this combat, we can at least try to take control at least of sectors of the city. Well, what do you say? Once this is over, you have access to the requests that are non-financial as well as some financial bonuses for help clearing the rest of the city and beyond this quarrel.
Sure, I'll have to talk to my friends, but I'm sure we'll be happy to help. These goblins aren't friendly to us. Be very careful. They seem to be setting up traps throughout the area. So we saw a tripwire. So just be careful for that as we move forward.
Tripwire, interesting. Okay, I will. Go, and you hear the other 12 dwarves begin to sort of take point at the entrance of the throne room, and sort of just not necessarily relax for a moment, but take some time to gain their footing after the combat took place. As this conversation is going, Valor, you do see multiple dwarves sort of line up outside the throne room doors where the two ogres were. Just you hear them chatting in Dwarvish, but if you don't understand the language, then you don't know what they're saying. But they are chatting about it, and Calrad will say that about this time, after conversations have been had and dwarves are beginning to take point, you finished up that this is a delayed fireball spell. Definitely would be a surprise if a goblin would be able to come up with something this crafty. But you get from it that if the flame would have reached the insignia, that it would have burned the piece of the rope that would have broke the glyph, which would have then set off the spell, causing either a cave-in, or if anyone was around running at full speed, they probably would have been here at this time to receive the warm surprise from this spell. But it definitely seems like the amount of calculation needed for this and the high level spell that this would have needed to be would have been probably out of the range of a goblin's hands.
Can I roll like an Arcana to see how I would get rid of something like this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
24.
24. It can either be dispelled or wait for the glyph to expire. Would be the only two ways to really get rid of this glyph. Breaking the glyph in any sort of way would actually activate it into causing the explosion.
All right, I'll just make sure I mention it to like one of the Dwarven wizards, essentially, just to tell them where it is.
Okay.
Then they can handle it from there. I pick up Pinota and we go wherever everybody else is.
All right. Mercury, you see Calrad sort of finish up with his ritual as he then picks up his cat, and then he just begins to head towards the throne room. Do you go ahead and follow him with your point of exhaustion?
Yeah, I'll just get up and just casually walk behind.
Okay. As the rest of you see, there is again a scene that is quite horrifying. As you see all sorts of races just littering the floor with this in this throne room. The king is definitely in a bloodied sense, extreme bruising, but his armor is sort of almost looks like it's radiating a little bit. As you sort of see the king's cuts and bruises on his face begin to close, and the bruises begin to go away. As he sort of just sits on his throne, the gems sort of sparkle in a way as you can see as you guys get closer and closer, the armor is actually giving off some light as it's refracting inside of the throne room. Most of the sconces, not the seances, but the sconces are have been extinguished, so it is rather dark in here. As really the only thing giving light is the lava falls behind the throne room and this radiating chair. As you guys sort of look around as well, you do see that the light that is coming off is refracting off the chair above you is actually looks like multiple stars that are sort of playing off the ceiling. So it looks like it's almost outside if you guys were just laying in a field. But this is the scene that you guys come across as Calrad. You did get the opportunity. There is one remaining dwarf in robes that you were able to tell about the delayed fireball spell as they begin to instantly run towards the glyph to try to take care of that at once. The rest of them are sort of just sitting outside with weapon in hand, being extremely cautious. But all of them, it's a different vibe than what you were getting the first time you walked into this room. You guys were sort of seen as outsiders. Really, all the dwarves, if you guys remember properly, were angry and uproar that the city was left in your hands. But provided the information that Dowrin gave, they definitely take a note of respect that is interesting that these dwarves are giving. Even though you guys didn't stay for the battle, which they understood you guys had a separate mission, but the mission that came back is completed with the information. Is definitely something they respect. So they sort of just nod to you as you guys begin to enter the throne room.
It seems like they didn't even need us. They have this well handled. But free stuff, I guess.
Well, they had this one battle well handled. Maybe we can help out in another way. The king wants us to continue helping, like, rooting this incursion, if we can. Apparently the rest of the city is still under attack.
To be fair, we've killed one goblin? Or...
3.
Oh, no, that's right.
I killed one, you killed one, then I killed another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
So, Merc, between the two of us, who would have thought that I would have the higher body count at the moment? It wasn't.
Probably just you.
Probably.
The Dwarven Lord, as you can see the armor, he sort of just begins to chuckle as the conversations as you guys are having inside his throne room. So, I take it that you're willing and able to help us then?
We're still on contract for now, so war's not over.
Now, when you say everything that we had agreed upon plus financial bonus at the end at this point for more work, Your Highness, I would like to discuss terms.
Of course, as long as it's not too outrageous, I'd be happy to oblige. Every couple of words, he's taking a deep breath.
Oh, Your Highness, I do not want to stress you after such a battle, and know that it's not supposed to be any sort of slight or backhanded remark or anything. You've done amazing work, as I can see here. If it would be better, if it would please you more, we can sidebar this conversation until you've had the chance to rest and recuperate.
My armor should do that for us while we have this conversation. I appreciate and thoroughly, you guys have my gratitude for sticking with us so far. No, please continue.
Looking at this, see, you may not know, but me and Mercury, we actually run a little bit of an extermination company, as it is, pest control, if you would. So if we're going at our normal rate, then it wouldn't even be anything extra, it would just be my normal fee. So, and I look at Mercury, what do you think?
Just give him the business card.
Fine. May I? And I step forward slightly, presenting a business card.
He sort of looks over someone and gives someone a nod, but there's no one there that receives said nod. But the card sort of picks up out of your hand and begins to make its way unknowingly to the king.
Excellent.
As he takes it and looks at it. A businessman, I see.
Yes, Lunar Escapades, Brandy Smuggler Incorporated, Blue Brothers Bug Be Gone. That is the one that we are curious about as of right now. Now, normally our fee ranges from large to smaller, small to large. In this case, we're going to go with medium as goblins. So, at our normal rate of 25 gold.
Are we getting paid for this?
A normal rate of about 25 gold for a place as large as this. I'm going to throw out a number, and I'll use your face as a gauge for whether or not we can even discuss this. It's looking to carry this 3. Okay. About 1,000 gold.
Roll persuasion.
Out of curiosity, what 3 are you carrying?
Yeah. There's not even a 3 in that.
That's 3 square miles that this entire city encompasses.
So persuasion, eh?
Hey.
That's a 25.
Nice.
I'm just trying to make sure that we're getting paid too, like the people that aren't part of this business.
I can hire you on. We can talk terms.
How about 800 gold pieces?
800 gold pieces. 850.
He's offering you way more gold than you'll ever need. What are you doing?
It's a stern 800. You can take it or...
All right, we'll take it.
Perfect.
There's no sense of leaving it.
Alright, after all this is said and done, we have access to our vaults. We have 800 gold pieces for you and your party, as well as
Thank you.
the other requests that were provided.
Thank you, my lord. Does this make me a bad person?
Is this considered extortion at this point?
They're in the
Hey,
top
man,
right.
Make a buck when you can.
In the top right corner of your screen, you just see the king will remember this.
Yeah, for sure.
As he's sort of still recuperating, every so often you do hear a couple of arrows begin to fly through the tunnels, but you hear a loud yelp as whatever threat was trying to encroach on the throne room is being taken care of. As you guys wrap up said conversation, the king sort of steps down from his throne. Please, follow me. We have much work to do.
I don't know, follow.
Follow.
I'm right there.
We now have monetary contract. I work for him for the moment.
Yeah, I'll follow. I'll try and be in front of Valhoric if he lets me. Be like one of those like elementary school like speed walking contests. Yep.
Exactly. Boast of chest and everything. You guys go ahead and continue to go. They go ahead and take the similar path that you guys took, where it did split into 3 different options, left, right, and then continue down to the next floor below. As you guys continue to go down the path, they do go down the staircase that you guys went past. They continue down the staircase, what feels like 5 minutes, 10 minutes around there before going to the next floor below. The next floor below, the entire floor is just covered in bodies. Most of them look like townsfolk, children, anyone and everyone were just sort of slaughtered along the way. The king is sort of quiet as he's taken aback a little bit. And takes a
As
moment.
we're walking, like not like actively searching, maybe like just like touching like the bodies with my shoe or something as we walk. Can I keep an eye out if anything interesting on these bodies? Just like casually?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check as you guys are sort of just walking by.
And I assist him with that.
So does that mean I get advantage?
Correct.
You said investigation or perception?
Let's go ahead and do investigation as you're sort of looking, like trying to move the bodies around and try to get a good look at them.
It's an 8.
Okay. And are you trying to do this stealthily or
No.
just actively walking around kicking or moving people's bodies?
Well, I wanted it to seem like I'm doing it just like habitually, not like I'm like paying attention to my actions. Just like
Gotcha. Okay. The king does sort of speak up. Can you please refrain from? I know it's very difficult, but moving the corpses, please. As these guys continue to lead the charge, you do see that there is a inn that does look pretty banged up. There is quite actually surprisingly not a lot of bodies on the inside. You do see some bodies. Obviously, it looks like a couple of employees of whatever inn this was, and the sign that was hanging above it is no longer on the building. This is where we'll rest for the night. We'll take the Dwarven lords will take shifts, but I know we need as much rest as we can get.
Agreed.
Try to be quiet if you can. We're not sure exactly if who or what is around. And he points off to 2 of the lords. King Craghammer and King Battlehammer as they both run off to the back storage area and begin to search as he sends 2 other dwarves to go look upstairs and search the premises, make sure that they are indeed alone. As a few moments go by, King Battlehammer and King Craghammer both come back with semi-large casks underneath their arms. He's like, "We'll be resting good tonight, my king." As he go ahead and grab about 2. Each of them have about 2 medium-sized kegs that they're sort of carrying by. But the 2 other lords from upstairs come down. All right, we're alone. Well, see the 7 dwarves that are not lords all sort of offer their services as first watch, as everyone else can sort of take rest. The king looks to you. Would you like the second or third watch?
Third, preferably.
Third.
Aye, third it is. We'll wake you up in 8 hours. We'll begin to move. And in 12 hours, we'll continue moving through the city, allowing everyone to get a full day's rest and continue this process.
I'm about getting all my spells back.
All right. As you guys go upstairs and lay down, there are multiple rooms to be able to house yourself into a own personal room if you wish, or there is rooms that do have multiple beds inside as well. As you guys are getting ready to call it a night, as you guys are getting ready, you guys do see or hear a knock at each of your guys' doors.
I'll answer the door. Hello.
You see a dwarf, not fully battle ready. You see like his gauntlets and his helmet are sort of taken off as he's in a more relaxed state, it feels like, as he does come up and brings each of you a pitcher of wine or some sort of alcohol. Here, for behalf of the king, here is your rest and your drink for this evening.
Thank you. Are people downstairs?
They're trying to rest. We have the 7 guards taking watch for the first watch, so they're active duty still. But the king and the other dwarves lords are having a council. What next step to take place?
Excellent. As action here, I'm gonna go back into my room. I'm gonna change into some like common clothes, so not my leathers. And I'm going to take my wine and I'm going to head downstairs to see if I can maybe sit in on this council.
All right, Dowrin, the same gift is offered to you, but there is a small letter that is attached to the side of your cup. Please.
I read it.
It is from Lord Battlehammer, or King Battlehammer. Dowrin, it looks like, again, we call upon your aid. I do apologize for offering you a position I knew you wouldn't take. Please take this letter and drink as a sign of forgiveness, and we hope to see you reign in glorious combat once again.
That's pretty cool. I want to keep that. So I fold it up and put it in my bag in like a special pouch.
Again, the dwarf sort of walks by, and food and rest for the evening is provided by the king. If you would like to join, sir, there is a council among the other lords. If you would like to join in on with some of your reports, that would be well. But I know you and your rest of your companions deserve some rest as well.
Was directed at me or?
To you. I guess the better question is: are you guys all staying in the same room? Or are you guys taking in separate rooms?
Probably separate, for me at least.
Yeah, I'll take the room next door to Mercury's.
It's not often that we don't have to sleep with all of us in the same wagon. So
Right.
It's not it's uncommon that we don't just sleep in a huddled pile.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's a small individual room that is just to you.
I say that doesn't seem. Sort of nod the drink to them, take a sip. So that doesn't seem like my type of thing. But maybe some of my smarter compatriots might want to get in on that conversation. I myself am just going to rest in my room. You could inform everyone.
Of course, the dwarf sort of has a smirk on his face as he does recognize who you are, and he sort of, not necessarily like a full bow, but he definitely does like a quarter bow to you, recognizing who you are, and then begins to exit the room. Mercury, you do have a knock at your door as well, with a dwarf that does have a pitcher.
I don't even answer, dude.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm KO'd. As soon as I get to my
Knocked
room,
just done.
dead.
All right. Same as well. There is
If I'm walking down the hall, I would like to take his drink that was going to be offered and walk away with both.
You do say that there was one placed, as you did have to go back into your room to change. There was outside of his room, there was a pitcher of a drink on the floor, sort of sitting outside the room.
This is mine too.
Calrad, a similar knock occurs at your door.
Who is it? I'm just reading, trying to just get my spells back.
Some refreshments.
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Give it to one of my compatriots or something.
Also, Darren said that you may be interested in an offer.
An offer?
Yeah. Do you mind if I enter?
Yeah. Just come in, and I'm sitting on the floor, surrounded by books, and just cat is doing cat things.
So it's just knocking books off of stacks. Understood.
Yeah.
He walks in. He does have a pitcher of a pitcher of a drink as well as some bread as he sort of places it down next to you. Darren said that one of his he said smarter compatriots might be interested in this meeting, but the dwarves lords downstairs are plotting their next course of action, and the intel that you guys acquired may be useful. Isn't seem too often where outsiders are allowed into a meeting of the Dwarven Lords, but they do understand the amount of travel you guys have been, undertaking, as well as the mission you guys just completed. So they do thoroughly understand the need for your rest if you need it.
Oh, how long are we talking, meeting-wise? Is this gonna be an all-night thing? A couple hours? A couple minutes?
I don't know, sir. I'm not privy to the information.
Yeah, I'll go. Just give me a second. I gotta. Nah.
As he sort of gives you a nod, he goes ahead and closes the door behind him. You do
I'll mage hand some bread to my mouth. So.
as you are walking down the hall with 2 pitchers of wine in your hand, Valhoric, the dwarf guard sort of just looks over you, shakes his head. Now, you drink like a dwarf. Let's go.
When he looks at me, I want to like freeze, and then just take one long sip out of one, and then nod and follow.
Calrad, you do hear the comments of someone drinking like a dwarf outside. As they begin, you hear the footsteps creak away from the door as they begin to head downstairs to the main lobby area.
Yeah, and I'll like put my books into a pile on the floor and stuff my face with bread as I make my way.
As you
I'll
get
take Pinota too, just because she'll tear up books.
Right,
That's what
of
she
course.
does.
So as the 2 of you are arrive downstairs, or I guess the 3 of you, including Pinota, you guys do see that there is a quote-unquote feast taking place. You do see there are assorted meats, but they do not look like they have been cooked well, as that would probably, the fire would cause some, the smoke that would then show the position of where you are. You could definitely see that this could definitely be a very nice and cozy inn for adventurers or even just townspeople to cozy up to a nice glass of something, as there is a nice hearth. As you guys sort of get closer and closer to the table full of lords, you guys do notice that there is the 7 dwarves that are sort of watching the front are definitely singing a dwarvish tune, and it's interesting. It doesn't sound horrible, but it doesn't sound like they're a skilled group of bards either. But it's nice that they are comforted and continuing. Yes.
I will take my leave from the meeting, and I will go hang out with the dwarves. Like, I'll hang out with the 7 outside.
That
Because
was,
it
that was
sounds like
short-lived.
it sounds like they might have a better idea of how to spend their evening.
They are still inside because they did have the door barred shut with some chairs, but they're sort of like just quietly grouped up together, not trying to make too much noise, so that way if someone's passing by outside they hear. But it definitely seems like they are just very they're trying to keep themselves relaxed. You can definitely tell that the tensions are high between these 7 people, but they do take some comfort in a song that is known to their people. It is in Dwarvish, so you don't understand what they're saying, but it does flow extremely well as someone who is very into that side of the world.
I love it. I don't want to take too much time out of any important things that might be happening, but I'm going to sit down, and I would like to join in with them in just the relaxing of the evening, singing songs, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Calrad, you do see the other lords sort of scoot over and point to the table. Please join us.
I mean, I'm just here as an observer, but I'll sit, I guess.
Please. And there's meats. It's cured, but it's not fully cooked yet. If you would like to enjoy, I promise you won't catch anything from it. But please partake if you like. There's more drink if you would like as well. We were just talking about what our next steps should be. And one of the other dwarves sort of stand up, look over to you, and give you a bow. I apologize for the way me and my clansmen acted towards you and your group, and I wanted to provide an apology on behalf of us.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's not every day that you get apologized to. Yeah, sure. Thanks. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they all sort of begin to chuckle, and Valhoric, you do see from this very important meeting a small bout of laughter as the the last remaining dwarf sits down at the table, and the king sort of waves his hands over the table, and a map appears of the entire city. So here, here, and here, he points to 3, looks like larger sanctions of the city. These 3 places are quarantined off. We know that there's no one in or out of them. We do have a set of guards at each location, and
I'm gonna be like taking notes of the map with Mage Hand while I'm eating.
okay. But right here, and he points to almost the center of the map. This is where the vault and our forges are. We're not worried about the forges being destroyed. They're extremely large and would cause. It would take quite a bit to damage them. But the vault, on the other hand, requires 5 of the Dwarven Lords to open. Hasn't been open in almost 500 years. But now that we're all here, we can open it up and be able to distribute the wealth for your party. But we're worried that they know of a way in, and this is the last true place where we haven't really known to make sure that this is truly safe. The king sort of looks over to you. So, the goblin you guys interrogated or got the questions answered. Are we, do they seem to be a bigger organization? Do you know who they're working for?
I feel like my compatriot Dalrit already covered all this.
I know they said Uldrick, but I didn't know if
or whatever.
If there was, I mean, we're seeing elves, we're seeing humans, we're seeing all sorts of races take place. I didn't know if it was beyond goblins and hobgoblins, or if there was any other information that we were missing. I just wanted to check with you and make sure.
I mean, we interrogated a goblin and got a name, and that's about it. So I feel like you probably have more information than we do at this point.
Well, we do know that the hand is involved in at least providing a way into the city that we are painfully aware of now. But I don't know if you and your group have encountered the hand before, if you guys even know what the hand is. But we do know that they were the ones that provided the information, at least to Uldrick, to take this over. Now, we do have to be careful. There are, once we've questioned Uldrick, as well as found out, unfortunately, his first encounters, there are explosives rigged throughout the city. So I think your guys' next course of action would be helpful to find, one, the location of said explosives and how powerful they are. If they can bring down the forges, then we have bigger issues at hand, as those forges have been in for hundreds and almost 1,000 years at this point.
So you're gonna go to the vault and we're gonna go to the forges? Is that what I'm understanding?
They are relatively close to each other. The forges can be seen, or the vault can be seen from the forges. So it is. It's definitely. I think it would be good to split up, but trying to figure out exactly if there are any explosives around, or if you can find individuals that may know how these explosive were crafted, or if there's a way to defuse them, or if we have to activate them in a other location.
I guess as long as we're getting paid or whatever. I'm just here, like I said, observing, eating. So.
Of course. one of the other dwarves sort of looks over to you almost in a hushed tone, and looks over to Valhoric. What is? And I don't mean to be rude, but what is? Like, what are they good with? What are they? I mean, I see the gentleman over there is enjoying the time with the rest of the crew, but what are their specialties? What are your guys' as a group? What can you guys provide in combat? I mean, I know what Dower is capable of.
Muted.
Who is me?
No.
Me, I was.
Ian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dalrin is good at a lot of things. I've seen him do some amazing things. Just the other night, if you'd like to hear the tale in a bit, he plummeted from a tree and drove an elbow through a goblin's face as he tried to assault us in the night. But as for the rest of us, sorry, I'm bad with names. Hold on. Calrad, one of the finest spell slingers I've ever met. Bar none. Don't tell him I said this. Easily better than I am. And Mercury, I trust that man not only with my life, but with his life. He fights fiercer than anyone I've ever seen, and I pity anyone who gets in the way of him and wherever his blade is going. And then there's me. I'm kind of along for the ride. Maybe it's the drink that's got me a little honest, but I think I provide the least amount to this group. If anything, I provide an uplifting reprieve at the end of the day, and maybe some good laughs here and there. Now, don't take that as I'm some sort of chump with the blade, but I'm in no way, shape, or form the workhorse of this group.
Well, we drink to that then, to the workhorses, as the group that you're sort of hanging out with and singing in songs, or just raise their glasses, slam it on the table, and begin to take long gulps.
And I'm right there with them. Workhorses. Boom. Drink.
Calrad, back to you at the table. The Lord. So, do you have any sort of insight to what they're even doing here? Are they just here to rob, or that? I mean, obviously they're doing well in the killing portion, but is that what they're here? Is it just slaughter us? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, it seems like they got something against you, or your king, or something here. We didn't really get much. We're just mercenaries at this point. So your guess is as good as mine.
Well, if you find someone who may be a little bit higher up, I would like to know their reasoning behind this attack, if you can make that happen, or have one of your compatriots make that happen.
I mean, the king mentioned something about a prophecy related to the same name. Maybe if us outsiders knew more about this prophecy, maybe we could track down that too. I mean, I'm not saying it is a prophecy or anything, but it's always better to know.
Yeah, the official tale is in the library, so I'd definitely be something that you could possibly check into if you can sneak your way in and out without really being caught. That might be a good place for you guys to head up to. But just from what we know, I mean, it's an elvish prophecy that this Uldric is supposed to slay all the kings on this continent and take over as rightful ruler of the realm, where he then brings hordes of demons and angels alike and wage war.
Kind of does sound like a fairy tale.
my point exactly, especially an Elvish one.
All right. Well, yeah. If I can find the library, I'll be happy to see what I can find. But until then, it sounds like we already got Uldric. His head's pinned up on a wall somewhere. So.
Indeed. Well, please feel free to continue eating and drinking, but I think this is the end of our meeting as we sort of decide what we're doing next, and we have a few hours to get some shut-eye in before it's our watch to relieve our guard. So thank you again for your information, and tell the rest of your compatriots thank you on behalf of the lords. We definitely appreciate the information and the risk you guys are willing to put through just for access to a library, a house, and a few coin.
Eat for a little bit and then go back to bed.
Okay.
I was gonna try and wave you down and be like, "This is really fun."
I just do one of those yeah, and then just keep going.
Alright.
Awkward.
Then to the group, see, that guy is a wet blanket.
The group begins to laugh. Not exactly knowing exactly what you mean by a wet blanket, but they get the context behind it. And begin to, as a sort of, one of them just sort of quiets down, like the rest of the group down, and just sort of listens. As everyone in the area sort of just grabs their weapon and prepares for whatever may come through, as you do hear what almost sound like a cloud of horses just running through the street outside on the street, and then you do hear shortly after a band of goblins. You do hear some bolts being fired and people screaming outside, almost as if they use the horse as a distraction for people to go check and see what the horses were, and then fired bolts at those people who were expecting foes to be around. In common, you do hear, well, that was an easy shot. These are like taking candy from an orphan.
I want to peek out the window, trying to be as low profile as possible.
Roll a stealth check for me, then. I will say you have advantage because you are in a blacked out room, sort of just peeking very shyly out a window.
23.
Okay. You look through, and it is a assortment of races. You can't tell because of the way the armor and the cloaks are, but they're definitely humanoid size. So definitely taller than the goblins you've been dealing with, but they're not. You can definitely tell they're not Goliath or anything tall or human tall like that, but they are probably about 5'10" to 6'1", sort of in between there. A group about 7 of them, all in black garb, where all of them wielding either a crossbow or a bow and arrow. But they are. It looks like they're not trying to be too extremely quiet, as they are sort of just talking above, just slightly above a hushed whisper. But definitely know what they're doing when it comes to making a kill, for sure.
Okay. I'm going to pull back from the window and head back upstairs. I'm going to leave the one pitcher I haven't drank downstairs.
Okay. And then are you just going to bed when you get upstairs?
I'm just gonna go to bed.
Okay. 8 hours later, you guys are woken up by a knock at your door, as each one of you are woken up by a dwarven lord, advising you it's your guys' watch for the next 4 hours.
I'll get up and put my leather back on. And then head downstairs.
Yeah. Yep.
We're all doing this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You no longer have your point of exhaustion, by the way. You're able to get a
Okay.
full 8 hours of sleep and are fully rested. Probably the best sleep you got in quite some time. But you are able to make your way down there, get your armor donned, and head to the lobby. It's rather quiet. You can see there are some leftover scraps of meat and kegs that were left open on the table downstairs. But with you downstairs, you do see that the king is sort of sitting, not with his armor on, but sort of just propped up with his feet up in the corner, just watching.
I would like to snag up on some of that meat that's been left out, just like a handful of it to snack on. And if the king is actually awake, I would like to go sit near him.
Okay. You plop down next to the king. He sort of looks over to you, doesn't say anything, and then looks back towards the door.
Morning, if you can tell what time of day it is under a mountain, and like start eating the meat.
What about the rest of you?
I'll go sit where those other dwarves were sitting. I assume that that's the best place to keep watch. I assume we're keeping an ear out more than an eye out.
Yeah. There is a full pitcher of some sort of drink sitting there. But you at least are sitting next to the door and a window to make sure you have keep an eye out and an ear out as well.
Is there anybody outside, or we're all inside?
All inside. The doors have been barred up with some chairs to make sure that it would be difficult for people to break into, or at least allowed, to say the least.
And how many doors to the outside are there?
Just one.
Okay. I'll grab some like food, maybe like a drink or something like that.
Okay.
And then I'll just go sit by myself for a little bit. Because Mercury's not a morning person.
Fair. Same. You go ahead and grab some of the leftover meat and a cup full of whatever's inside the cask, and you go ahead and plop down sort of by yourself and eat and make sure to keep watch. Calrad, it's definitely a different vibe than what you were feeling earlier when you and Valhork were downstairs about 8 hours ago. It's quiet compared to the dwarves that were sort of singing and sort of trying to uplift the spirits. But there is still food on the table that looks like leftovers from the meal that they had earlier that day, as well as some drink on the table if you'd like to partake in any of that.
No, I'm probably just like preparing my spells for the day and petting Pinota and just trying to, get everything ready.
Sure. The king looks over to you, Valhart. Mountain dwarves specifically, can always tell, even under mountain, what time of day it is.
Now, with all due respect, my lord, is it that you can tell what time of day it is, or is it that you can claim at the time of day and no one can prove you wrong?
He gets a small smile on his face. Probably a little bit of both.
Understandable.
So, pardon my asking, but what is someone from... Where do you hail from, exactly?
That's a tough question. Kind of from a little bit of here, a little bit of there. On the road a lot, so I don't really call anywhere home. Sedimentary life is boring. So why not be out on the road looking for a story?
That's fair. Dowrin, as you are in the position to be able to hear and see things from your vantage point, looking outside and stuff like that, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
14.
14. You do see and hear a clack of horses sort of just plopping around outside.
I can see them.
Yeah, you can see the horses. They seem to be just walking around, smelling things.
It's on them.
Excuse me, I'm sorry?
Do they have saddles on them? Like,
They do, but there's no rider. They also each have a saddlebag as well.
nothing to write home about. Keep watching them.
Okay.
Or bring it up to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did the dwarves? Did any of us show up with these horses, or these are definitely not ours?
Definitely not yours, as you guys were all, or you guys just took a, I guess it's not the one that we're pulling the wagon that you guys arrived into the city with.
Okay. You can go ahead, Ian. That's all I was.
Okay. I want to bring it up to the king. So, did any of the 7 on watch last night bring it up to you that there was a small stampede of horses followed by 7 in black just outside murking people?
Yes, and we're afraid of what those may be.
Just making sure that we're all on the same page here. Realized that I kind of saw it and then went to bed without telling anybody like a jerk. Just making sure that you are aware of the situation.
Yeah, you know what those are?
7 men in black cloaks that like to kill people?
Yes, they're also wraiths.
Oh. Spooky.
Very spooky. And if they are truly here, like we've seen, then we have bigger issues than just some goblins that are going on in our city. See, they're not living, but they're not dead either. They're somewhere in between.
The good old not living, not deads.
Some
Heard
might,
stories about that.
yeah, of course. But it's extremely dangerous, and I would highly recommend not going toe to toe with one of them, very least the 7 of them.
Anybody smell that? It smells like boss fight later.
Probably. They don't just kill us instead.
Oh, I want to turn around. Merc. 7 dudes in cloaks outside. You think you can handle them?
Not right now.
Pussy.
Still needs his coffee.
The king sort of stands up and makes himself loud enough for you to be heard. The 7 individuals in cloaks that our friend here was speaking about are wraiths.
Oh dear.
These 7 in particular are, I believe they're elven in nature, but undead elven lords, and each one of them has a unique magical item that keeps them bound to this plane.
I'm intrigued. Would I know anything more about the wraiths? Have I heard anything in my travels?
You could roll a history or arcana check that goes for anyone, or religion if you have training religion. Just let me know which skill you are rolling, so I know what kind of information to give you.
All right.
I rolled Arcana and got a 23.
23. You have
wait.
heard. Oh,
22, but either way,
yep.
it's probably high enough.
Yeah, it definitely is for the amount of information here. So, if you're ready to take notes, here you go. I'll wait for your not. Oh my god, I don't have a notepad up face.
Okay, go.
You have heard of these, at least these 7 magical items of the wraiths. Each one of them have a sword that, if dealt with or had to take an 80 damage, you are poisoned until you perish. There is no cure for said poison that the is aware of. But you do know as well that each one of the magical items is a form of jewelry that is on said wraith. 6 of them do have a ring that is binding them there, but the head, the leader of the wraiths, has actually a gemmed pommel to their sword that is keeping them bound and keeps the other 6 controlled to him.
Alrighty. Scary stuff.
I got an 18 for a history check.
History. You've heard of entire, at least stories of entire armies and battalions being wiped out by these 7 wraiths in by themselves. These wraiths typically, once a kill has been taken by them, you've heard of them absorbing the life force of the people that they kill, becoming stronger and stronger, and that's why that they are so difficult to kill. But they are. You've heard stories that they are beings that are conscious. They're not just taking orders. While they are being ordered to do stuff, they aren't just mindless in that respect.
Okay, so like they're conscious, they are aware of themselves, but they're not autonomous.
Correct.
Okay.
If you guys remember, obviously you guys probably get this, but from the first Lord of the Rings, those wraiths that go through, exactly what we're looking at.
Okay.
About how many dwarves are in the room with us right now?
Right now, just the king. It's you guys on watch, and then just the king.
Is there a reason the king's with us?
You probably assume he didn't. This is probably his watch he's taking. He probably got the first 8 hours of sleep to avoid the first 2 watches, and then got fully rested. So, he sort of plops back down in his chair. He is in they're commoner's clothes, but for his stature, so it's just like his shirt and some pants. But the shirt is made of silk. The pants are very nice end as well. But you can definitely see from his arms as well as his neck. He definitely has a lot of healed up cuts and stuff like that. You guys have seen this dwarf has probably been in quite a bit of combat overall. He sort of sits down, and you can definitely hear the bones popping and getting old in age, but he still holds himself to a high standard as he sits down very elegantly. So, what are you guys planning on doing with the 800 gold as he finally plops down? Once you guys are done with make yourself heroes.
800 gold can buy some fancy clothes, good food, and plenty of attention.
I mean, we're sharing that 800, right?
By sharing, you mean Merc and I. Yes, he's the only one I have hired to this company.
So I don't really have any reason to be here anymore. Is that what you're? I mean, I have my library, so it's fine.
Are you looking for extra work, would you say?
Well, I mean, if you don't need my help anymore, I'll just go to the library now and be on my way.
I mean, maybe we could be looking for somebody of your skill set for Blue Brothers Bug Be Gone. But you know, I know you, but like, what do you offer, like, for the company? We don't just hire anybody.
I mean, you clearly need my keen eyesight and sharp mind. So,
What a point at Mercury. Keen eyesight, sharp mind.
And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Calrad when he says that, like as I'm eating, and just be like,
Yikes.
either way, this group, this company of yours probably could use a little book smarts.
We do need someone to handle our taxes, yes.
And here I thought we were going to go 5 whole days without being interviewed for one of your many companies.
Dalaran, are you looking for a job?
Yes, I am looking for a job.
All right, you're hired. Get in here.
Oh, great.
The king also you also may not want to put that you're a smuggler on your business card and hand it to a king. That may not be the smartest bet, as usually if you're smuggling stuff, it's not exactly legal.
I'm gonna interject with like food in my mouth this time and be like, no, that's like our biggest business.
That doesn't.
And, Your Highness, think of it as more of satirical smuggling. So it's more of like, it's more of like a tongue-in-cheek name for like a shipping company.
I'm not sure if you don't know what smuggling is, but I just don't know.
Oh, no, I get it. Like, I know exactly what smuggling is. We rode in with a smuggler. And let's say he was a piece of crap. Dude didn't do anything to help us, even though he was well within, I guess, his ability to, given what I know about him now. I'm upset. Anyway, to say, like, oh, we're smugglers, like, you put the quotation marks around smugglers. Like, it's like a,
How you know he wasn't doing the same thing with his smuggling?
He told us where the back door to this place is, and he dropped the name of the hand a couple of times.
Well, that'll do it. Anyway. And he sort of sits down. I think I
Lord.
have your property picked out for you. I'm not going to tell you where it is in the city, but I think I have your property picked out for you.
Then let's play a game. Since you have information I want to pull out my deck of cards. Let's play a game.
We're a little busy to be playing games, don't you think? You're supposed to be watching, being able
Hey,
to...
Dull, you're watching, right?
Oh, I'm watching.
All right. See, Dull's on it. You have information I want. You probably want me to shut up. So, how about this? We play a game. I win. You tell me where this land is. You tell me where this plot of land is. You win. And I'll stop talking.
Very interesting offer. Go ahead. What are we playing?
All right. It's still working on a name for this, but I take out the deck of cards, I shuffle it. I do some like cool like fancy shuffles, you know, like breaking the deck and like flipping it around my hands and shuffling to that
Roll
whole
sleight of
thing.
hand for me.
Dude, I'm gonna watch me just drop all of the cards right now.
That'd be awesome.
Sleight of hand. It's a 19.
Yeah, you are able to very handily handle the cards.
Hell yeah. So what
Keep
I'm
an
gonna
eye on
do?
his sleeves.
So what I'm gonna do, as I'm shuffling, I'm gonna give you 2 cards, and I'm gonna give me 2 cards, and the winner has the highest value.
Okay,
Pretty much just blackjack.
I figured as much.
Yeah. So shuffling, and boom! I set the deck on the table. Impartial third party. Mercury, would you care to cut the deck?
Am I in on this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Should I make a sleight of hand check as well to assist?
Yes.
12.
Okay. As you cut the deck, he, hey, Calrad, could you go cut this one more time for me, please?
I mage hand cut it from where I'm not even. I don't even look. It just does it and cuts it.
Now
I do
we're
like
ready
a
to proceed.
three. I do like a 3-part cut. So I cut the
Oh.
top half and then I cut the second half and then so
Insane. Okay.
Then I'm going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
I'm like with the deck there. I'm going to cast Mage Hand, and it's going to deal out cards. 1, 1, 2, 2. Right.
Yep.
See? And without having touched the deck, I have dealt. There's no way for me to have influenced it any further than what everyone else in the room has already influenced it with.
Okay.
All right. Best of luck. How do you want to do this?
We can go ahead and roll D10s. Nope. D12s.
D12s?
Take away the 1.
So 2 D12s?
Yep, so do 2 D12s.
Where are my D12s at? There they are. Hey. Looking at my cards, I kind of sit back. All right. And man, I'm trying to see if I should push my luck on this.
Yeah, the king looks over at you with a smile. By the way, this game already has a name. It's called the Dwarvish
Oh, really?
Run.
It's called the Dwarvish Run. I love that. This is great. Well, when I win right now, you're gonna have to agree also to the terms that it's now called Tiefling Run.
Yeah, smirks. That's a cold chance in hell, friend.
I'm gonna look past that slur, but okay. And yeah,
Just
so
flip the cards.
flip the cards.
He's got an 8 and a 9, 17.
Ooh. Alright, so I rolled for a 16. As I'm flipping, I want to try to sleight of hand to make my 7 a 9.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
Oh man, sleight of hand. 21, blackjack.
He just smiles. Good hand. Good hand. Tiefling's Run it is.
Tiefling's Run it is, and I put my hand out to shake.
He obliges and shakes back.
Excellent.
As he shakes your hand, he grabs the card that's sort of in your hand and pulls it out. You know, I haven't been on this earth for 198 years and not seen a trick or two go by on a table, friend.
Is he wearing any like bracelets or anything like that?
Oh my
Nope.
god.
He's not.
Damn. I'm just gonna put my hands up. Hey, these things run.
Told you to watch his sleeves.
He, I actually think I found a better place for it. Your property. Something
Uh-oh.
more of your personality.
Oh,
Is that the prison?
No, I got
Cal,
a better
you're not
place.
helping.
I got a better place.
it's your throne room, right?
The more like the chamber pot for it, but yeah.
Oh, wow. Oof, you know what? I'll take it. I own it. That's mine. You have to pay me to use it. Let's go.
Now we're gonna take a shit.
On your dreams.
See, I now own your chamber pot. It's gonna be at least 2 gold a poop. Like,
Damn, that's expensive.
Right.
yeah, he's a king. He's got the money.
He smiles and relaxes, and nothing really happens on your watch. You guys sort of make sure to continue with the morale, keep it high as you guys can, which I'm also trying to make sure that you guys understand how dangerous it is currently going on outside. The rest of the doors wake up, come downstairs. Anything suspicious happen while we were asleep?
I mean, the king just tried to cheat me in cards, but like other than that, that's about it.
All the dwarves sort of chuckle. Not again. King just sort of smiles. All right, everyone, don your armor. We're getting ready to leave. And you can sort of see that the fun that the king was sort of having is being pushed off to the wayside as it's all business now, as he realized what we're about to leave the quote unquote safety of this inn to go venture back into the city. And that's where we'll take our break, as everyone is beginning to don their armor and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and come back in about 5 minutes. So 55, we'll be back here to see exactly what's next for our adventurers. Okay, bye.
Hey.
Ian Flux. Hi, hello, we're back.
And we're back.
Thanks. So where we left off, you guys were getting ready. The king ordered everyone to don their armor as they were getting ready to head back out into the city.
Oh, I guess I'll cast mage armor then.
Good
To
call.
don.
Yeah, you did. So you go ahead and don said magical armor, if magic were even to exist. And you guys begin to head outside. One of the dwarves sort of look around the frame of the door after opening it and sees a wire. They go ahead and step over the wire. And watch your step. There's a wire here.
What's the second wire in just as many days?
What?
Like 8 hours, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. We slept. It's a different day.
Everyone is fully healed. You have all your spells, your cool class features, whatever you get for long rests.
Thank God.
As you guys go on, the city is actually relatively quiet. It's spooky in an eerie way. You guys see that there are lights that are still lighting up the way. Every probably 30 feet, there's just a ball of light that's sort of just floating. So you do have dim light along the path, but there's no explosions, there's no gunshot. You don't hear the sound of bolts and arrows flinging by. It is just extremely quiet. All the dwarves sort of make a circle around the king and begin to walk in sort of almost like a target formation where the king's in the middle, and then all the rest of the 12 dwarves are surrounding said king.
Doesn't that make the king look a little sus there, guys?
I mean, his gold armor probably does that, but
Does it look like where we're at? Is there any higher up vantage points?
not really. Most of it is just a single. You guys were actually in the only building that had a second floor to it. That is surrounding you guys right now. I mean, down the path you can see there are some second floor buildings, but otherwise, as of right now, it's mostly just first floor buildings.
Okay. To the king, I want to say, it's cool that you have all these guards surrounding you, but there might be people above us. Do you have any plans for that?
No, I guess I don't. Do you have any plans for it? I guess is my question, because I don't have any.
Well, I mean, you could borrow one of those shields from one of your people standing around you. Maybe just put up.
He looks to all the Dwarven lords like, why did no one ever think of this? And sort of yanks it from one of the guards and just puts it on top of his head. Good. Let's move forward then, shall we?
Onward and downward?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
On this path, you do see, now it looks like you guys are, as you guys remember when you guys were up above, it was like a oval that you guys could see down into the middle of the city, or at least beginning to head in that direction. As you guys continue down, you now see that the way down is almost like a spiral that goes down further and further into the depth. As you guys continue downwards, everyone is on high alert, sort of just looking around. Anyone who wants to look around as well, go ahead and roll a perception check.
18.
16.
I got a 7.
Solid. 4?
4.
Okay. Nice. As you guys are sort of looking around, you guys don't see any sort of traps or ambushes awaiting to happen. Dowrin and Valhoric, though, each one of the doors, as you guys are passing these houses, have a wire in front of them.
I want to go check out the next house we pass that has a wire. I want to go check out the wire and see what it's attached to.
I would like to point out the wires to.
You look down at the ground, and the wire seems to be attached to a small rune that's painted onto the stone floor.
All right. Because I'm a proud sir and I don't want to have to call for help, I would like to try and see if I understand what that rune is.
Go ahead and roll a Arcana check or identify spell, detect magic, or even.
This is an Arcana check. 21.
21. You can definitely tell that this it looks similar to the rune that Calrad was disabling, but there's something off about it. It's not the exact same design. It does have the same flicker to it that the other one had, but something's slightly off about it. You do know that it is part of whatever trap this thing is a part of, but you don't know exactly what spell it is.
Okay. I'm gonna call it then. Hey, Cal, you might want to look at this.
Yeah. What am I looking at?
Point to the rune. Like, that looks familiar. and it's not really my area of expertise. So if you want a job around here, this is going to be your job. Welcome
Well,
aboard.
I guess we will talk terms of my services later. It
Yes.
looks the same though.
It's something is slightly off about it. Like the actual drawing itself is slightly different.
Well, I feel like we don't have 10 minutes for me to.
You can make an Arcana check to see if you can identify
Okay.
what's different about it.
I got not a natural 20, but a regular 20. So.
All right, so you look at it. It's the same spell, but a couple of the markings that would change which damage type it would be is different.
So it might not be fire.
Right.
Maybe something else. Well, it's definitely going to explode. It just might not be fire.
Okay. Well, then I guess we just don't touch them. Because this kind of stuff fades on its own, right?
After like what, like a couple days?
Yeah.
And
Unless you have dispel magic.
I don't get that for a while. So.
yeah, and I mean we can't save everyone.
Vahor, go ahead and roll a percentile for me.
I feel like I just offended everybody. Oof, 38.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna be on like the verge of death, and one of the dwarves is gonna be like, "We can't save everybody."
Dang. I'd be kind of down for that actually if that ever ends up happening.
What the fuck?
Right.
Alright, so as you guys continue on, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing else I can do. I just wanted to know what it was.
Maybe I'll slide like a note under their door that says like,
Don't go outside.
"There's a rune outside that might blow up your house. Sorry."
Are you
In
going to do that?
Dwarvish.
Are you doing that for every single house that you pass by? Because each
No,
building is pretty much
I
side by
probably-
side.
I probably don't have that many pieces of paper. So
Probably
never
not.
mind. It would probably take longer just to do that.
I want to ask the king if these houses are still. I assumed that everybody was either dead or had fled the city.
That's what we're under the impression as well, but obviously whoever set these up have other thoughts. I mean, maybe they knew that we were around here, and they were just trying to... But they didn't know which building we were in.
Trying to hedge their bets.
Yeah. Probably about, like, 200 feet ahead of you. You guys hear a loud explosion down the corkscrew. As you guys do see a large ball of ice and icicles just sort of poof, explode in front of one of the buildings.
I want to look at Cal. Well, I guess we know that it's not fire.
Could be anything, but yeah, it looks like ice ball was used.
Doesn't sound as cool as fireball. Cold, like, yeah, but fireball is just like, pow. Like, there's a reason it's iconic. As I just kind of keep muttering to myself and wander back to the group.
As you guys make your way to where the explosion was, you guys look around, and the entire front of the house, inside of the house where the explosion would have got into, outside of the house on the ground as well, it's just covered in ice. The person is frozen in the middle of the doorway, but you can see that there are large shards of ice just embedded in them, but they are completely frozen over. And it just looked like a couple of dwarf women.
Nothing we can do now.
Should we make an announcement?
Maybe the
'Cause
king should, because I feel like us making the announcement doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think
Wait.
an announcement was just made.
Fair.
I feel like it would be the opposite of what we want, though. Everybody will be like, "What is that?" and then walk out the front doors. So maybe you should use your leadership and tell these people that they should stay inside, or have someone else do it. I don't know.
My only concern is that if people are listening for those explosions and one goes off, say like the enemies, don't you think that would tip them that I'm still alive? If I'm just vocalizing that, hey, stay inside.
That's why you could let somebody else do it. One of your people.
He looks over to Valric. I think this is where you step in, friend.
He doesn't speak Dwarvish, so.
My people speak common as well.
Dang, bilingual in this town. Everybody, like, what's your literacy percentage?
Speak.
We'll talk about it later. And I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy. Say, ladies and gentlemen, in the area, it is highly advised that you stay within your homes, as there is a rune painted on your door frame, along with a trip line. And if you take one wrong step out of your door, kablooey, as you just heard. And it is not a fun way to go. Please do not panic, stay inside, social distance as you must, and enjoy the rest of your day.
The king just sort of looks, enjoy the rest of your... Okay. Hold on a second.
We
Be
might
right
have
back.
to roll initiative, guys.
I might have to roll initiative in real life. Be right back.
What are we breaking?
But we're ready to go.
Yay!
Yeah, no kidnappings.
Nothing yet.
True, yet being the key phrase. Anyway, so after you made your proclamation to stay inside, you guys go ahead and continue forward, keeping your eyes peeled for any ambushers or anything that might take way. You guys continue on this street that is continuing to corkscrew downward and downward and downward for about 2 hours as it continues to go down. You guys do not still see a...
How long does the tripwire theme last? If we're walking
it doesn't
for 2
last-
hours, is it every level?
No. It was just more or less that area. Like, they knew you guys were around there somewhere, but they didn't have an exact house that you were in. So it was realistically just probably like maybe 1,000 feet of houses that were taken care of.
A lot of tripwire.
It was a lot of tripwire and a lot of time. As you continue down for about 2 hours, you do eventually get to see... you start seeing less and less bodies that are littering around. A lot more stores that are closed up, intact. Looks like most of the merchandise are gone from inside, but most of the buildings are still. There are no broken in doors, no broken glass to get in. Looks like this part of the city was actually able to evacuate in time before the chaos started. As you guys continue to go, the king sort of, all right, we're probably about another 3 hours from the base of the city, where we'll see our forge and vault down there as well.
How big is this place?
It's a city under the mountains.
Yeah, but like, God, how far under the mountains?
Well, the last couple floors of this would have a name in Dwarvish that translates roughly to the abyss. But yeah, we're about 3 hours at most at this pace away from the forge and stuff like this. So I would be on your toes as the last hour is probably going to be, if there is an ambush, it's probably where they're going to be waiting. Because now we have all the Dwarven lords in one spot, and we need 5 of us to open the vault. So
what you're telling me is 2 of you can die, and we'll be okay.
I mean, 2 of
Bad
us.
joke?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll read the room. I'll read it better.
But what I'm hearing is that we are walking toward a vault that the enemy wants open with the key in our hand.
Well, I mean, the key is our hand, but yes, I guess that would be safe
Well,
to
at
say.
least we know that they won't kill you in the ambush.
Nope. Hopefully not. But
They just need their hands, right?
I mean, it's not metaphorically. There's no like scanners or biometrics or anything like that. But our gauntlets
What's those?
activate as the key.
That's some next level, like... We're gonna have to talk to you about the concept of biometrics and scanners.
Yeah, you scan with your eyes. Biometrics.
Oh, no, I get that, but,
Yeah.
like... If I could find a way to put that in a story, people might really like it.
Right.
So, how many people know that that you need your gauntlets to open this vault?
Yeah, looks around. As far as I know, just us. But I don't know what kind of intel that this group has.
So it's not common knowledge. Okay.
No.
Well, it sounds like you have a mole then.
As it does. As it does.
Can I insight check the king?
Yeah. What exactly are you looking for?
No, just the trigger of like, seems like you have a mole. Like I'm just immediately suspicious of him.
Oh. Indeed.
12.
He definitely he does have an understanding there is probably a mole. He doesn't know who the hell it is, but he's sort of come to terms with that a while ago. He did mention when you guys were first meeting that dwarves are probably involved, as there is a lot of information that they had on the attack that would be like crippling to the city.
You know, like a backdoor entrance that everybody knows about, but you.
I was more talking about like where our guards are stationed, where they're not stationed, what levels are
Like
more.
at the back door.
Yeah, I think we're all talking about the same thing.
Like this backdoor that nobody knows, but all the smugglers know. Yeah, it's weird, huh?
It is.
To be fair, Smugglers LLC did not know about this back door.
Because you're not real smugglers, obviously.
Obviously, we're not
That's
real
what-
smugglers.
That's what we were saying yesterday.
What I've been trying to tell you. Drop the coke.
We're Pepsi people here. No, we you guys go ahead and continue onwards. As it continues for another 2 hours to about the point where he would say it is probably becoming more realistic that the ambush would happen. It's starting to get significantly hotter down here as well. As you get closer and closer, you see quite a few more lava falls are starting to appear as you guys get lower and lower. But the buildings are finer crafted the lower and lower we get. As you guys continue on, I need everyone to make a perception check for me.
7 again.
15?
Okay.
14.
19?
Ooh. You guys continue on another about a half hour away from the forges and the vaults, and at this point you can begin to see the lava falls all converge into one area. As you do see a giant forge that seems to be heated by the lava falls. There are giant mechanical arms that are just sort of compressing something. You can't see exactly what it is, but beyond that, you can see, which is surprisingly, a large sealed door on the other side.
So that's the vault, and this is the forge. And there's bombs around this thing, apparently.
The other people. Wait, what?
Supposedly.
Yeah, I guess I'll let the rest of the party know about our job that we apparently were given. About we have to find bombs on this forge.
Oh, we have to go find forge bombs?
Yep.
I like that term. That term is cooler. Forge bombs. Makes it seem.
Do we have any idea of what these forge bombs look like?
They are. Looks like small wooden boxes that have gunpowder on the inside. I'm not sure what the trigger is for them, but I'm assuming it's just a fire. But I'm not exactly sure how it's activated, unfortunately.
All right. I mean, so the room that we're in, big door, it's the forge. It's like the lava flow into the center, right? You said?
Yep.
Where are we in relationship to these things?
You guys are still on the path heading down. You're about a half hour away.
Okay.
But you can at least begin to see the massive size of the door as well as the forge that they're referring to.
As we're making our way down, is there still thinking of like people above us shooting downward? Are there still vantage points maybe?
There are still vantage points. You're definitely keeping your eye out with that perception roll, making sure that you don't see any sort of way, like any people sitting in windows or keep an eye out or anything like that. But you do not see anything. A lot of the buildings are actually starting to become more less residential and more business intact as well. You do see there are a lot of different smithing shops. Compared to having just one smith, they have multiple different smiths that specialize in different things. But you get the impression that most people probably don't live down here. It's also, are you guys have the cold tiefling? I'm assuming, or are you guys still the fire tiefling?
Oh, I didn't switch it. So I have a fire resistance.
Okay. Ian, is that the same for you as well? I think you muted. Okay. Okay. So you guys are still comfortable in this area, but you can definitely tell it's starting to heat up. The other two that do not have fire resistance, it is definitely getting quite toasty down here. As you guys continue forward, you guys more or less reach the bottom area, the plateau at the bottom of the city. It is a giant open, almost looks like a market space. But you have the forge off to your, sort of like a 10 o'clock left, and then beyond that is the vault.
What is the significance of this forge?
You would know, I almost had you roll culture. You would know that this is like the first like mass producing dwarven forge. It is in a lot of religions revolving around the dwarves that the deities provided this forge as a gift to the dwarves for creating this monumental city under the mountain. But obviously, magic doesn't exist, so why would a deity give a forge to dwarves? But that is it is more of like a holy site almost. It still has a purpose, but a lot of like dwarven clerics and paladins seek this as a holy site.
Right. So it's the forge that makes weapons that are real that everybody thinks are magic,
Yeah,
but they're just weapons.
they're just weapons.
Still bringing that up.
See, this is where my my skepticism comes from. Everybody's like, "Ooh, my magic weapon." I'm like, I watched that get forged. It's not magic. It's just a sword.
That just lights people on fire for whatever reason.
Yeah, because we can make swords that light people on fire. No magic necessary.
No magic included.
It just happened.
One day I'm gonna blow your mind, and it's just gonna be all over the place.
I'd take that as a threat.
If magic were real, I would, but
Actually, coming from him, I wouldn't take it as a threat, as I'm the one that can just give people aneurysms.
For now.
I think that people just tend to have aneurysms when they're talking to you. For non-magical reasons.
Got him.
Roasted.
What happened to that fire resistance?
Right.
But
That's the one thing that can get through it. Harsh words.
All right, so you guys look around. I will say it is extremely hot down here. Every 10 minutes you're down here, I will need you to make Constitution saves.
All of us?
Those with fire resistance will have advantage on the roll, but it won't be until 30 minutes. If you're down here, or sorry, 10 minutes that you're down here searching, because it's just that hot. Because you guys do see underneath the forge and sort of connecting at different points is just lava that's just pooling to keep the forge warm and hot.
Seems like an unsafe work environment, but
Does Ocean know about this?
What about an ocean? No, this is lava.
Like, you guys need to get some unions down here or something. Like,
I mean it is a kingdom, so they probably don't care about that.
yeah, probably.
As you guys get inside, you can definitely hear it's actually sort of loud down here. As you guys have the roar of lava the lava pooling into the forge, as well as the forge still continuing to run. So you do have large mechanical arms that are just sort of pounding into whatever material that they're crafting. So it is rather loud in here. So you guys would have to yell to be able to be heard. But those of you who want to start looking around the forge, feel free to roll a perception check.
I will take my passive perception on this one, which is a 12.
So you're not actively just looking around, you're just sort of seeing what you can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
Apparently
Yeah,
the heat is really getting to me, so I'm pretty useless right now.
I got a 7 as well.
Oh, okay. Nice. You do see there are
I got a 9
a
total.
9.
So.
Solid. With the 12, you're not actively just sort of looking around. You do see there are a lot of boxes around the area. Just upon the corner of the forge that you guys were at, there's probably a stack of 10 to 20 boxes.
All right.
But I guess they're more crate size than they are boxes.
I not interested in crates. I want to clear the forge area before I start investigating anything.
Yeah. As you sort of continue to look around the forge area, to do a full sweep of the forge would be about a half hour. So anyone who is doing a full sweep with him, I will need to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'll do it. I'll help out.
You do have advantage on it.
Meta question.
Yep.
Is this forge magically run, or is it?
No, it is not magically run. It is.
Whenever we
mechanical.
pass by some mechanical mechanisms, I just go, ooh, magic.
Those of you searching, the tieflings have advantage because of the fire resistance. Those of you who do not have will just make a Constitution save.
Yeah, I got 11.
I got a 19.
Okay.
Nat 20, 21 total.
Total. Okay.
I got a 15.
Okay. Everyone besides Dowran makes the save. Dowran, you have 1 point
I'm
of
like,
exhaustion from the heat.
magic. Oh yeah, so great.
So, Dowran, you do have disadvantage on all ability checks currently.
Hey, Dal, you're not looking too good. Do you need to, like...
Back up from the forge a little bit, bud?
Yeah.
Do you
A
need
little-
some magic water that'll make you feel better?
Yeah.
Do that.
If you had magic that could make me feel better, that would be cool. But whatever.
I don't think I have a restoration spell.
Ah, damn. That
Not
spell
yet.
doesn't work the way I thought it did. Ah, damn it.
Is it
What
curry
is it?
water?
Who's the magic
No,
guy?
it was heroism. Because I
Oh.
know it makes you like immune to fear and stuff like that. So I was
Yeah.
wondering if maybe it would like get rid of other conditions temporarily.
No, nothing. I don't think anything really gets rid of exhaustion. So.
Just good old-fashioned sleep.
Ooh, magic. Sleep.
Magic sleep.
So
I do have magic sleep. Do you want me to try to put you?
That's something I can do.
do it. Do it. Hit him with that sleepy spell.
You're not sure if putting him to sleep inside of like the forge area would help.
Yeah.
You just slowly bake while inside.
Low bake.
Yep. As you
Nice
slow.
baked.
dwarf.
Nice big dwarf.
A few of the other dwarves sort of step away from the forge as well, as they you can sort of see that they are like stretching, trying to catch their breath as it is extremely hot down here, and being in full metal armor isn't helping that fact.
You're like in a walking oven.
Yeah, pretty much. But on the other side of the forge, you guys sort of, as you guys make your lap around, you guys see quite a few. You counted probably about 60 crates on the outside of the forge. But at the top, about 4 floors up, you guys notice that the 7 wraiths are just sort of standing over, just watching.
Are they exhausted?
No, they're plenty floors up that they're not impacted by the heat.
I'll walk back over to where the king and the dwarves are at, and I don't know if they're aware, but I'll make them aware. Okay, heads up.
They look up, and 3 of the guard of the dwarves sort of like, oh no. And they're exhausted, but you can tell that they're actually terrified that these mythical creatures actually exist, and that are just a few floors above them. The king sort of just, you can see his eyes through his helmet as he sort of just closes his eyes for a moment, stills himself. All right, we have a job here. Let's figure out where these explosives are. As the guards sort of guards, go about halfway up this ramp here. Make sure that we don't get any intruders coming up. Lords, I hope these travelers find the explosives. As the dwarves begin to... some of the Dwarven Lords, you can tell, are moving a little slower than what they were, as they are still probably feeling the exhaustion. But receiving a direct order, they sort of try to power through it and continue start searching boxes.
I'll hop in and help search some boxes.
I'll search some boxes.
All right. Anyone else who wants to search some boxes, roll an investigation. Not Cal. Dowrin, you do have disadvantage on the roll because of your exhaustion.
Jesus.
You said investigation.
Yep, as you guys are cracking open crates and boxes.
I got a 10.
I got a 3.
23.
I got a 20.
Calrad and Mercury, both of you guys open up a couple of crates. And the crate is probably like 3.5 feet tall by like 3.5 feet wide. So it's a rather large crate. You open it up and it's completely filled with gunpowder. Both of your guys' crates are.
Okay.
I think I found one.
I found one too. Are we disposing of these? I feel like they might be valuable to use offensively, maybe.
The king sort of yells as he's trying to make sure that you guys are heard. He is boosted a little bit with thaumaturgy, so you guys can clearly hear him. We'll think of tactics later. We just need to find out if all 60 of these crates are gunpowder. And you guys continue to crack open crates. And you guys make it through probably 3 or 4 different crates. And all of them so far have been gunpowder.
Okay.
I feel like we're gonna need more people.
I feel like we should start exploring exit strategy.
Hold on. So, to be clear, those of us that failed the check, did we open a crate and it had no gunpowder in it, or did we just like not get the crate open? Or I'm trying to understand if all of the we filled.
Those that failed, you open up the crate. It has some gunpowder in it, but it has some other stuff inside of it as well. They more bring your attention besides the black powder that may or may not be gunpowder.
Got it.
To the king, can I yell back? How long before we get into that vault?
I mean, we can get in whenever, but I want to make sure that we can, if we can try to move or fix, but if these are all the explosives, then the forge may be lost.
What's more valuable, you or the forge?
The forge.
Well, looks like we're about to fight them.
As it does. You three, and he looks at 3 dwarves, and they start moving these away from the heat. Hopefully they don't combust, but move them. As they start picking up the crates and carefully trying to move them away from the forge to make it a little less as hot. You guys do get the impression that from how safe the dwarves are trying to move it, without trying to cause any sort of explosion, that it's going to take quite a bit of time to move all these crates. You're looking at probably another hour or 2 more constitution checks to move while moving these crates.
I mean, I don't think do we have any other options? Like, what are the wraiths doing in the meantime?
Just watching.
How far? Where are they moving the crates to?
They're just moving it to like the base of the ramp, trying to move it away from like the direct heat. as they're probably an impression that the heat from the forge, it's like a bomb, just like that is the igniter, is the forge itself.
So, how far distance were they moving them?
They were just probably like 15 feet up the ramp, so that way it's just far enough away. Wow, from the heat, the direct heat that hopefully it won't cause it to explode. So that it's enough that way they can continue to move crates away without being taking too much time.
I'm going to go to Cal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it seems to me that the only way this forge gets destroyed is if all of these go off at once. Could we save some time? I mean, you're smarter than me. Could we save some time by throwing the crates one by one into some lava? There'll be a minor explosion below us, but the forge won't take any damage and it could go quicker. And then we also don't have to worry about somebody just lighting them on fire and blowing us all to hell.
I don't know. That seems pretty destructive, but it might work. I'd have to think about it.
Go ahead and roll a intelligence check.
I got a 15.
It could work, but it could also the explosion could cause some damage to whatever is below, like to the walls or anything like that. It could also cause some shaking on your level, which could then possibly get it closer to the forge to heat it up. It could work, but there's also some threats that might happen as well.
It might be like a last ditch thing. We could do it if we really, really need it. I worry that we don't know how big these explosions are gonna be. So us just chucking things into lava might worsen us. It might throw lava everywhere, for all we know.
Okay, I'm going to continue. I'm gonna help move these things up the ramp.
All right, is everyone assisting moving the crates?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, everyone.
I'm kind of
go
watching
ahead.
because I'm a weakling. So
Okay, everyone, go ahead and roll and a strength or athletics if you have athletics. Who is moving stuff?
Jeez. 22.
Hey.
13.
Okay.
15.
15. Each of you guys can begin to go ahead and start moving the crates away from the forge just into the ramp to make it where it's a little cooler. I need everyone to go ahead, as you guys are doing this for about a half hour, I need everyone to go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yikes. 11?
Do I have disadvantage on saving throws?
No, not saving throws.
Okay, 24.
Okay.
I got a 16. this time.
I got a 14.
All right. Mercury, you have 1 point of exhaustion from this heat. It's starting to actually finally get to you. As you guys continue to move, you see the about a half hour in the race actually begin to start moving downwards. They are still 4 floors above you, but they are slowly starting to walk down. They're not even trying to run down or anything, so they're not sprinting, but just casually walking down. They are probably about. You guys remember that at your speed that you guys were walking, it took about 25 minutes to get from there to where you guys are. So I need everyone who's continuing to help move the boxes to make another strength or athletics and one more Constitution saving throw as you guys finish up the last half hour of moving the crates.
You
So
going athletic.
that's a strength check of 17 for me.
Okay.
Strength check of 10.
Okay.
And con save of 20.
It's a 12.
12 for con save?
For me. Yeah.
Okay.
13 for con save.
Okay. And then, Drew, you will have to make a con save as well because you're still within the.
Yeah. I got a 15.
Okay. Anyone underneath 14 for the con save takes another level of exhaustion. Dowrin, I think that was you. And Mercury, you had
2 people.
Yep.
Okay. So both of you are sitting at second level of exhaustion. Your speed is halved.
Yep.
All right. You do. The heat is definitely starting to wear on at least half your party, but you're able to move all 60 crates over to the path. The wraiths are a floor above you. It looks like they stopped and continue to watch.
So wait, we just moved all the crates
And about
to our only exit, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did.
Hmm. All right. Okay.
All right. You 7, stay with the step away from the crates, but make sure those 7 do not get down here. Is that understood? What? Excuse me? We're not. No, you're staying here. Hold your ground. If needed, use the crates behind you. They do not pass.
Is there like another way out of here that we're not aware of?
The king turns around and begins to walk with the lords towards the vault.
Okay. Thanks for answering my question.
Do you guys follow the king and the lords towards the vault?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, no question.
About out of earshot of the 7 guards. No. But I have a feeling that those 7 aren't going to make it anyway.
Okay.
What we do have, though, is a way out if we need it. The guy sort of looks over to one of the dwarvish lords, and he sort of flexes his fingers a little bit. We have an escape route, but it can only take so many people.
Okay. I thought this was going totally somewhere else. So okay, cool. Escape route, good. All right.
I was down to die with some gold. Not gonna lie.
I thought he was just gonna strangle us. Yep, I got it.
Got it.
I've got my strangling fingers.
As you guys walk up to the forge, or past the forge and up to the vault, there is a smaller door that looks like it is part of a extremely large door. But there's 5 on this door. There are 5 hand slots. In a circle. But each of the slots don't match up with the gauntlets that they're wearing. There's an indent, or it looks like an indentation in where the palm should be, where something should be poking out of it. Each of the dwarves sort of look at their gauntlet, take the middle, looks like a plate, out of the middle, so a gem is showing. And they put their hands in to each slot and sort of turn it like 30 degrees. And then you hear a lot of mechanical stuff going on behind the doors. Looks like stuff is going on.
I want to nudge Delbern and go, magic.
I'm gonna nudge Valhoric and go, key.
As the door opens, you guys walk in, and you guys see an enormous room. You guys cannot even see the opposite side of the room. You guys cannot see it. Halls to the ceilings go. But it's just filled and filled with gold, swords. It looks like a giant dragon's hoard. There's no rhyme or reason where anything is. It's just a giant room with gold just filled with it.
Are we sure there isn't a dragon in here?
The guy looks over, the king looks over to you. No. And he begins to walk over.
Feels like you, of all people, should know whether you have a dragon in your vault or not, but I'll let it go for now.
It hasn't been opened in 800 years. And he goes out and behind, as everyone enters the vault, he shuts it behind him, and you guys hear the mechanical locking mechanism go back in place.
So,
Is there any light in here?
No, it is pitch black.
All right.
I cast
Yes.
light.
Yeah, I was like, light? It's got it. Don't worry.
Go ahead and cast light, as there now is some light being shared across.
and is it colder in here?
Significantly colder. It's still warm, but you're not making saves from the heat anymore.
Okay. Okay. At some point in here, I want to try and, maybe snag a handful of gold.
Okay.
Did the door close behind us, or?
Someone closed the door behind
Is
you.
there a way to open that door from here? Or are we going through your secret escape route?
Secret escape. I'm hoping that obviously no one else can get in, but we just want to make sure that what we're looking for is here.
And what are we looking for?
A way out, as he begins to climb over and begin this mountain of gold that's just sort of laying around. You can go ahead and roll a sleight of hand to try to steal some of the king's gold, Ian.
Yeah. Gonna.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try to feign a fall, like try to climb up the mountain of gold behind him, and it's like and like slip, and like that's why I'm gonna try and like handfuls into pockets. You know what I mean?
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
If I get caught, it's just like, haha, it's a joke. So performance. Performance is a 16.
16. You all see, and you guys can roll insight if you would like on him, but you guys all see Valhoric take a fall through the on the other side of this money mountain.
Exhausted.
Yes,
Yeah.
your speed is what is your speed base? 25.
I think. Yeah, 25.
Yeah, so you can move. We'll say 15 or 15, 10 feet, 15. Same with you.
20,
What,
12.
12. But we're not going to cut in for moving. Yeah.
12 and a half, rounded up to 15.
Sure. Exactly, that's how it works. um,
12 and a half. We'll round it up by 3.
right, exactly. There's fifth. We'll go ahead and yeah, you see them all just sort of take a fall. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand for me as well. See if you can pocket the gold now that you've.
Mercury, I think your friend just collapsed. Maybe you should go check on him.
Nah, he's.
That's a 21 on the sleight of hand.
Okay. No one seems to have noticed that you have grabbed stuff.
All right. We can talk about how much I grabbed later.
Yeah, we will. You do see one of the lords grabbing money as well and tossing it into a coin purse. All you guys visibly see him. He's just out in the open, just grabbing money and tossing it into a coin purse.
Somebody please call him out on it, or I will.
Are there any weapons in this horde? Or
Oh,
is it
there
just,
is.
Any upgrades for simple hand axe and simple shield?
Oh, there is.
Or-
Probably. You
or
guys have
for-
to take some time and investigate. But as of right now, it doesn't look like there is a imminent threat inside the vault.
I'm into it. Mercury, weapons check.
Yeah, buddy.
Both of you guys go
Oh,
ahead and
yeah.
roll investigation. But yeah, you guys do see one of the dwarves definitely beginning to grab like handfuls of money and toss it into that coin purse.
As I'm rifling through weapons, I'm just gonna yell, "Ooh, he's stealing!"
The king looks over. Ooh, that's your payment. 800 gold, yes.
Ooh, he's stealing my payment.
I rolled an 8.
18.
I got a 20 on that investigation.
9.
Okay.
I'm too exhausted to
I'm
search.
gonna,
Also,
it's disadvantage because I'm exhausted, right?
it is.
Let me
I
reroll.
got 23, but not really.
Okay, one last 17.
Oh no.
Nice roll.
Everyone who has a passive perception of hold on one second, sorry. You guys, everyone with a passive perception of 13? No, sorry, 11 or higher. You guys see, not really where anyone is, some gold begins to shift.
There's a dragon in here.
No, that's just me with my mage hand. I'm just kidding. That's not good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ignore that because I'm assuming it's other people, even though I'm sure.
I'll send Pinota to check it out.
I'm going to kind of shift my body to be able to still rifle through weapons that I'm looking at and be able to see where this moving pile of money is. Dragon fight at level 2.
Yeah,
You know, I don't really want to fight a dragon at level 2.
yeah, definitely not.
Dude, I would do it. Think of the story.
Yeah, so we locked ourselves in a vault, and then we fought a dragon.
You see, everyone roll a D100 for me.
Everyone
he
who
is-
saw this.
I think
Yep.
it's
Just
looking,
everyone.
But yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I
Yeah, looking, sorry.
I got
Ricky, he is
57.
hella cute. Hey, Ian, someone in chat said you're hella cute, by the way.
Oh, it's me, dog. I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
That's my wife. She right. I cute. She right.
Okay. We'll start with Vahork. What'd you get on the percentile?
57.
And are you looking for specifically a weapon, or are you looking for anything that really catches your eye?
Preferably, like, I'm using rapiers and daggers.
Hey, Ricky! So the answer is a weapon, or anything that you could use.
Anything that I myself can use. Pretty much anything I'm proficient in. So crossbow, longbow, rapier, simple weapons, short sword, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Sorry, I had a page, and then my cat decided to knock my DM's guide off the side of the desk.
Yeah, sounds like a cat.
So I have to find where I had everything marked. You got a 57. You see a set of armor, leather armor,
Ooh,
that is all black.
I would like that.
Travis, what did you roll?
I wasn't looking.
Oh, I thought you still looked. Okay, my fault. Okay. And then, let's see. Mercury, what did you...
I'm happy to roll a D100 and take some stuff from you, but
Yeah. I mean, if you want to. I mean, it's not difficult to see the amount of stuff in here. Mercury, what did you roll for your perception? And then what was your D100?
Oh, my perception. Oh,
17, right? Actually, or yeah.
I did for an investigation.
Investigation.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
And then what was your D100?
26.
26. What kind of armor do you wear?
I have chainmail right now, so heavy armor.
Okay. You look around and you do see some. Sorry, 1 second.
You're good, dude.
Gotta love D&D.
Are you looking up items right now?
Yeah. So for you, you have there is a shield that you can see that really is catching your eye.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and I'll be sending all this stuff over. If you want it, you can go ahead and run up and grab it.
Okay, I'll grab it. Well, I don't know how much weight I can carry, so I'll probably exchange it for the shield that I have currently.
Okay. And then what was your investigation and your percentile, Calrad?
I got a 23 on the investigation and an 18 D100.
you rolled higher on a D20 roll than a
Yeah.
than the 100.
You find out of all of this stuff, you find a rather, it's not small, I would say, but a medium-sized bag that has a face on the front of it, with a smile.
All right. It's pretty obvious what this is. So I'll gladly take that.
Okay.
I rolled a 9 for my investigation check.
Okay, and what? Go ahead and roll D100.
68.
68. You find a axe, a one-handed axe that is buried, more or less, sharp end into the gold. But you can see that it is an axe for sure.
If it looks better than one of my axes.
It looks in extreme. It definitely looks better than it looks like, almost like your hatchet that you're using.
Yeah, that's swap it.
Okay. The king looks at everyone looking at and swapping out gear and stuff like that, and sort of just makes note of it. But you all begin to see gold begin to shift even more so. You're not sure if it's the taking and moving of items that's causing the gold to shift, but there is some gold shifting around. In two different spots. You guys can go ahead if you would like. It would take a short rest to attune to your items if you like to attune to them. So you could take an hour to short rest and get attuned.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I have special attuned magic armor now?
You do. Your armor that you found is what is that called?
I don't have to attune to the bag of holding, so
That is correct.
it just happens.
I don't know
Just
what
like-
a tube means, but I'm happy to take a rest.
Yeah, you take a rest looking over your new weapon.
And I have to attune to the shield, or shield's done.
Yeah, yes, that you do have to attune to this shield.
Anything you have to equip, essentially, you have to attune to.
What is that called whenever you... I can't remember the term for it, but it's something that changes what you look like in a magical way. What is that called?
Like an
Illusion?
illusion, like a glimmer?
Glimmer,
Or
thank you.
disguise self.
You have a
Oh,
armor
glimmer.
of glimmer.
Ooh.
It's mostly used out of combat, but in combat you can use an action to change the appearance of your armor to anything you want. You can make it look like nobles' clothes. You can make it look like commons' clothes. You can make it look like any sort of design you want on this. But it is a +1 leather armor.
All right. So I'm just gonna ditch the leather armor that I have now.
Just as you guys see him strip down and toss this new set of armor on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do see the armor sort of shrinks to your size. It was larger, but it shrinks to your size to fit comfortably. Travis. The king sort of looks at you and sort of shakes his head. Enjoy the axe. It was good. You have picked up the Berserker axe. +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. In addition, while attuned to this weapon, your hit point maximum increases by 1 for each level that you have. Unfortunately, though, you are cursed. As long as you remain cursed, you are unwilling to part with the axe, keeping it within reach at all times. You also have a disadvantage on attack rolls with other weapons, unless no foe is within 60 feet of you that can see or hear. Whenever a hostile creature damages you while your axe is in your possession, you must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or go berserk. While berserk, you must use your action each round to attack the creature nearest of you, regardless of whose side you're on.
Fuck.
Fuck is right.
I mean, it sounds rad, but also, like, I feel like you're gonna kill me.
Yeah, probably.
You're berserk. You are berserk until your start of your turn, where no creatures within 60 feet of you that can hear or see.
So, like, we have to completely vacate the premise to get him to chill out.
Yep.
I love it.
I'm gonna
Looks
be
like a-
throwing. I'm gonna be on temper tantrums. You guys are gonna have to leave me alone.
Looks like I'm saving one spell slot for charm person at the end of every fight.
And your shield.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the shield of arrow catching. You gain a +2 bonus to AC against ranged attacks while you wield this shield. This bonus is in addition to the shield's normal bonus to AC. In addition, whenever an attacker makes a ranged attack against a target within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to become the target of that attack instead.
Hell yeah.
But all of it is
Oh.
just ranged attacks.
I have a rules clarification
Yes,
on my non-magical item. Magic doesn't exist.
of course.
It said that I have disadvantage with weapons that are not that axe.
Yes.
Are you ruling that as if I pick up a different weapon and I'm not using that weapon, I have disadvantage, or when I swing with my offhand, am I going to have disadvantage?
I will. Ooh, that is a good one. As long as you're using that axe in one of your hands, you will not have disadvantage.
Thank you. I feel like if I ever drop it though and try to swing with my offhand, I'd probably have to.
Yeah, you would.
Like, I have to be wielding it.
Yep. Calrad, did you want to search and see if there's anything inside of the bag of holding?
Sure, I was already just stuffing things inside of it anyway, so.
Do you want to
Fine
try
now.
to? Do you want to see if there's anything inside? Obviously, you'd have to either turn the bag inside out to see what's in it, or just try to think of what is inside of that bag and try pulling it.
I can just dump it out. It's fine. Just
Okay.
see what comes out. I mean, all the stuff I just put in there comes out, obviously, but
Obviously, inside. Hold on, I have to see how much this thing can hold.
it can hold up to 500 pounds.
Thank you. A relatively smaller box pops out of it. It is sealed. A small leather case comes out as well, but roughly the size of a deck of cards. And a set of leather boots plop out as well.
All right.
I guess they are not leather, they are just a set of boots, actually.
That's fine, too. If we have an hour, I can identify all of them, but...
Yeah, you have time.
Or I could just attune to them and find out what they are.
That's true.
I guess.
Which one would you rather do?
I can't just have all of them?
What?
What are they? I don't know. Just...
So one of them is a set of boots that has it's green material for the most part. It looks like a cloth, but they do have it looks like branches as design for them. You could do a Arcana check to see if you want, or if you have Identify. You could definitely cast Identify on all of
It takes
this.
an hour.
Yeah, you have time because you have to. Everyone else is attuning to stuff, which it takes a short rest. So you could definitely cast Identify on all this if you wanted to.
Okay. Oh, it only takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
It's 11 minutes total, so that's
Okay.
fine.
Boots
Find
of
familiar is an hour.
boots of elven kind. The small leather case is not magical in nature, but there is something magical inside. But it is closed. And what was the last thing? Oh, there is a small wooden box that is not magical as well.
All right, I guess I will open the case first.
You open up the leather case, and there is a deck of cards on the inside.
Oh yeah,
Are you using those?
I'm identifying them. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know what they are, but my character doesn't know what they are.
Roll. Does it tell you exactly what it is?
Yeah, for identify.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me read it. Choose one object that you touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other item, you learn its properties and learn how to use them. Whether it requires attunement, and how many charges it has, if any.
It is.
And learn anything basically about it.
It is a deck of many things.
Yeah. That's what I
Um,
thought it was.
as you look around, you see a similar looking. Inside of it, there's a smaller leather case that is in there as well. You dump that and open that up. It is a deck of illusions.
A travel-sized deck of many things.
The deck of illusions is the second one.
Okay.
We're all gonna die.
Attack of Illusions is fine.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
8.
8. It is a deck that is only has 11 cards in it. For the deck of illusions, and roll a percentile for me.
86.
And of course, the deck of many things has 22 cards. Just saying, there's a 75% of the deck of many things in the world have only 13 cards, but the rest have
We
22.
have all the cards. Oh gosh. Okay, and then the box.
Oh, the box. You open it up. There is 10 vials of different colored liquids.
All right. What are they too?
You have 4 potions of healing, just regular ones. You have 2 greater potions of healing. 1 potion
Okay, so
of resistance. A potion of flying and a potion of invisibility.
I feel like we're getting looted to fight something that we're not supposed to.
I mean, to be fair, you guys are also just looting something that hasn't been opened in 800 years, so.
True.
How many potions was that? Was that 8?
10.
it's 10 so far.
Okay, so that's all of them. I can't remember. That's
What kind of resistance though? Is it just potion of resistance?
yeah. All damage is taken reduced by half.
Oh. I'll look for it.
I think it's actually titled like the potion of invulnerability. I think is actually the name of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I forgot the potion of invulnerability does not make you invulnerable. It just reduces half damage.
Potion of your mom roasted.
Got him.
Try going back from that. Chump.
All right. All your items are attuned. You are set with your fancy new gear. As you sort of look around, you guys do see a significant amount of gold beginning to move. As you see, not 1, not 2, but 3 dragon heads sort of pop up out. They're not extremely large. I mean, they are considered medium-sized. But you get these are 3 dragon wormlings You look at the color, and they are all bronze.
Okay.
When you say wormlings, they're not humanoid in shape, right?
Correct.
Damn.
They are not dragonborn. They are wormlings.
I'll just ready my shield that I just got.
They
Once I
sort of just
realize.
all sort of poke their heads up out of the gold and look over at you.
Can I make a Arcana check to see if my character knows about dragon colorization, or is that just common knowledge?
I would allow an Arcana check.
Nope, I don't know anything.
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
Can I run that check real quick just to see if my
Sure.
bardy weighs? It's a 15.
15. Interesting. They, you can tell by their size they're definitely, younger. But they do have a lightning breath, as their type of damage. It is weird. Most bronze dragons you've heard live off the coasts. To find one underground in a mountain that's sort of like in the middle of the continent is extremely weird to see.
I'm just gonna try to keep my voice real level and like calm. Just, hey, Your Highness. Why are there bronze wormlings in here?
Who? What? And he sort of turns around and looks up. Oh, that is...
Yeah. Going in the book. That's what that's doing.
He sort of gets his hand on the hilt of his blade without pulling it from the sheath. Trying to keep his not be like threatening at all, but he you know what that means, right? As he sort of looks around. There's a way out somewhere.
Well,
Does it?
I
Doesn't
mean,
mean that though.
how would you, to live this long down here? You're telling me that wormling's 800 years old?
No. But what gave birth to these?
And as you say that, you feel another, all the gold you're standing on begins to shift.
you just had to ask.
As
Mercury, next time, don't ask questions.
one
Someone asks you a god, you say yes.
Yes.
one enormous, gargantuan, ancient bronze dragon pops up as a adult black dragon also pops up.
What? Why? Why are they all
Highness.
here?
Why are there so many dragons?
We gotta
involved?
go.
We should not be
Yeah.
here.
As
Why is
the dwarf that was showing you his strangle fingers was go ahead and begins to take some chalk and begin to write something frantically on the ground. As the dragon, the wormlings all sort of raise their head up and begin to let out a roar. One of them goes ahead and takes unleashes its lightning breath on you guys. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
And does exhaustion affect us at all?
Nope.
Right?
Not till
So-
next level.
That's an 18 on my saving throw.
Okay.
Got a A 21.
Okay.
Cartwheeling away.
Dalrin.
12.
Okay. And last but not least.
I got a 19.
Okay, Dalrin.
I can turn back time. He failed though, right?
Yeah, he failed.
All right, Dalaran. Let's see what happens this time.
We gonna run it back. Gonna try it again.
11.
11.
Okay. All right. Well, it was meant to be.
We
Sorry.
tried to run it back, but it happened again.
You take 26 points of lightning damage.
Whoa.
Are you just dead?
I have good news and I have bad news.
And?
The good news is I'm not going to go berserk and just keep attacking this thing.
Oh, good.
Bad news is I'm unconscious.
So you guys see, all of you guys sort of dodge out of the way.
Well, actually, I probably took. It's probably half damage. I'm
Oh,
out
yeah.
too, so it doesn't matter.
You guys, those who failed take 18.
Or
Yeah,
pass.
Darcy succeeded.
Yeah, we all are just unconscious now. Cool.
That's for 18.
Yeah, it's a half damage on a. No, wait, sorry. Yeah, 26, so it's 13 damage. Sorry, 13 damage on a fail
Either
save.
way.
On a success.
God, I got 3 health and a dream.
Still up.
3 health and a dream.
Um,
God damn.
the rest of the lords, you guys do behind you hear a loud explosion coming from the outside of the vault. As
Well,
the
shit.
as the rest of the Dwarven lords pick up, or two of them pick up Dalrin and pick him back in, pick up Calrad and pull them back in, as two other wormlings shoot lightning towards them. They all save, but they definitely look a little worse for wear, but not as beat up as you guys are. But they do go ahead and continue onwards, pulling their unconscious bodies to the circle. And what the dwarf that finishes running the circle yells, "Everyone in now!"
Bet I'm in.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead and run over. I need Dalrin and Calrad to make death saving throws.
What made the first? Oh, is it? It's 10, right?
Yeah, 10 or higher.
19.
Okay. What'd you get, Calrad?
I got an 11.
All right, so both of you succeed on your first save. The rest of you see a bright flash of light as you guys are poofed out of this vault room and into a dark room that has different beasts' heads sort of plopped up on the wall. You guys hear you guys see there is a window outside that you can, or it's a window you can see outside. Excuse me. You guys are in some sort of city. You're not sure where you are, but you guys are in the middle of a city. As you guys hear shops or people like criers yelling out in the middle of the night, as well as just carts going by, horse trolloping.
We're no longer under a mountain.
You are no longer under a mountain. As you can see the stars up above through the window. There are two dwarves that are beginning to look at Dalrin and trying to make sure to administer some medicine to him.
I can cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. Do you want to do that as well for Calrad?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can do both of them.
Who do you do first?
Cool. Oh, that feels like pressure.
Yeah, who do you do first?
Out of respect for physical combat, I will do Dalrin first.
All right, Calrad, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Fuck,
And-
I'm sorry.
Can I go try and stabilize Calrad?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
I rolled another 11 anyway.
All right, you succeed.
Or you could just take one of the potions out of the bag. But I'm
I don't know those are
unconscious.
there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no! You know what? Screw that. I'm just gonna hit him with healing word.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll your d4 then. Plus your charisma.
So you're getting 7 health back.
Hey.
What?
All right. Spare the dying. That just brings them to not making death saves, right? They're not
Yep.
up. Okay.
Still unconscious.
Calrad, you do open. You realize that obviously the bag. You have your bag of holding with you. Everyone else has all their gear. You guys see Dwarven is a little toasty from the electricity, but he is breathing nonetheless. And that's where we'll go ahead and.
Everybody. Real
Go
quick.
ahead, yep.
Everybody that was in the vault with us, so the king and all the other guards and stuff, like they are all with us still.
Yep, they are also with you.
Okay.
But as you guys sort of come to the realization, you're not exactly sure what city you're in, but it's not in a vault filled with dragons. That is where we'll end today's session.
Nice. I would like to kind of prop myself up against the wall with my loot and just like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but we're just kind of noodling around with the loot. Like, I don't know what life is right now.
I don't feel good, Mr. Stark.
Nothing to do but loot about it.
So yeah, awesome job, guys.
Was not ready for that. That's for fucking.
That was awesome.
Because of how you guys actually were able to save the forge, as well as get out of, or getting away from a problem, you guys will all be leveled to level 2.
Level 3.
Level 3?
Level 3. Sorry, I forgot we started at level 2. Haha, level 3.
I was like, don't you revert my level.
Exactly.
Don't do that to me.
I would like my Bardic College, please.
Yeah, you guys are level 3. We can go ahead and do the leveling fun stuff off stream, but
Okay.
we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Dowrin Deep Basher, the unconscious. How would you like to? How can people help us with this content?
Well, you can tune into the stream throughout the week. We play another RPG on Thursdays, and we're going to be here next week streaming Coffee with JBrews. You can also follow the channel so you know when we go live. You can subscribe. You can do that one of 2 ways. If you have Amazon Prime, you get to do it for free. You just have to link that account with your Twitch Prime. Or you can buy some of the merch. There's a brand new merch store with a coffee mug. Again, I am drinking my coffee with JBrews from a JBrews coffee mug. They're really cool and well priced. So.
Oh, he hit me with the well price too. What a saint and a scholar. And last but not least, Calrad. How could where can they see past episodes of how you guys got into this mess, as well as the other shenanigans that's happening on Starfinder and past shows?
Yeah, if you ever want to catch up on this show or any of the other shows we do here, you can always go to youtube.com/JBrews, and all the episodes are there. This episode will be up on Wednesday, and other episodes come up on Mondays for Starfinder. So
Yeah.
check them out.
So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Thanks for playing early morning D&D with me guys. Appreciate it as always. But we will see you guys next week as we find out where we are and what the next step is. So I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.